Hi, it's me, Tracy, your literary and tea time companion, inviting you for a tea and book tasting, pairing tea and books. I hope that you will grab your cozy beverage, or if tea is not your favorite drink, any will do. Please grab your favorite drink and meet me here in the library corner for a very fun episode. I have a beautiful jasmine green tea in my cup today for this episode of pairing tea with books. But I should actually say at the beginning, I am no expert when it comes to tea. I just love tea. I always have. It's been my favorite drink, my favorite cozy drink for sure. But I'm not an expert. I have a great interest in tea. I've tried many types of tea. I've even tried blending my own teas, my own mixes, especially in the winter months, combining tea with spices. I would say that generally there is about 6 main types of tea, and this is going very loose because a lot can depend on a definition of tea, and that could include herbal, which is a vast range, isn't it? Including leaf, flowers. There is a lot that can be made under the umbrella of tea. Tea, as most of us maybe know all tea comes from, apart from herbals, comes from the Camellia sinensis plant, and it depends on the processing of the tea. And I have a few little notes so I don't forget to tell you everything. But we'll start with white tea, mostly just because it is the very least processed of most of the teas. And it is the very youngest buds at the top of the Camellia sinensis tea that is taken. Very delicate. White tea has such a soft flavor profile. It has fragrance though. It's a bit sort of it's very tender, kind of a floral honey sweetness. As I say, very soft, very light, but very enjoyable nonetheless. And I feel a book to pair with this tea would be The Secret Garden by Frances Hodgson Burnett. And I think that's because of it's a tender story, isn't it? With themes of renewal, hidden beauty that is discovered, gentle transformation of both a place and the human spirit. It's a pairing that offers and invites an appreciation of the magic found in quiet discovery. And we have green tea for the next category. And green tea is also, of course, from the Camellia sinensis plant, and this time the leaves, whereas the white tea is the very tender young buds of the plant. So where the change happens with where parts of the plant, but also the flavor will be changing as we go. So this time the leaves are unoxidized leaves, but the flavor is more pronounced in a different way than with white tea. And it has a brighter taste, and some would say maybe grass-like as well. I love a green tea, and of course we also hear often about the health benefits, the many health benefits of drinking green tea. And I'm choosing jasmine green tea for my tea and book pairing, and I'm choosing The Good Earth by Pearl S. Buck, set in 1920s China. And of course, China has the long tradition of tea growing, tea production, and the custom of drinking tea. And in The Good Earth, we are at a point in China's history where the last emperor is ruling, and there are massive changes within society. And here we follow a humble farmer, Wang Long, and his family as they struggle to survive and keep dreams alive in the midst of drought, of famine, and against the backdrop of huge political and social changes within the country. It is a beautifully written book. If you haven't read it before, I can really recommend this look of 1920s China with a cup of green jasmine tea. Next, we have Oolong tea, which again comes from the Camellia sinensis plant. And this time the leaves are partially oxidized, which changes the flavor and the appearance of the brewed tea. It's sort of something between the white tea, green tea, but it's not black tea. There can be quite a difference between the color range as well as the flavor range. And sometimes it is said an oolong tea is only as good as the person brewing the tea. So the color can range from sort of a yellow-green all the way to an amber color. And it's a special experience, oolong tea, it has a sort of a shifting flavor picture, and it invites presence and patience. And so I think a tea that would pairs very well with a story would be Virginia Woolf's To the Lighthouse, which, like the tea, it defies any one categorization. It sort of flows between the internal monologue and fleeting moments that are very clear and pure and bright. And I think that both the tea drinker and the reader find great reward in the quiet complexity with a lingering resonance from both the tea and the story. And now we have black tea, which is the leaves of the Camellia sinensis plant fully oxidized. And it's that oxidization which produces the robust and hearty aroma and appearance of a good cup of black tea. Black tea also does contain health benefits, maybe not the same as green or white tea, but it is still very good for us within moderation because it does contain caffeine. All of the teas from the Camellia sinensis plant do. But for this category, it would be probably remiss of me not to choose Lady Grey tea and pair it with Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. The tea is quintessentially British, aromatic and elegant, and it just pairs perfectly with a work by Jane Austen for its wit, humor, social satire. Sip some Lady Grey next time you read Jane Austen, while you read Pride and Prejudice, and just be with Elizabeth Bennet while she graces the drawing rooms of Regency, England. We make a departure now from teas from the Camellia sinensis plant to another plant entirely, a native bush from South Africa, Rooibos tea, which is has a needle-like quality, and it's a very different tea experience. It is warm. It has a warmth, a depth of warmth, and a honey sweetness, almost with a hint of floral. So it has a richness that is a bit like black tea, but is naturally decaffeinated. And it also has its own many health benefits as well. It has a fiery warmth, and it's a charming and calming cup of tea. And because of the sweetness and the calm, it has a cozy by the fireside feel. And so for that reason, I think a great pairing, a book and tea pairing here would be Rooibos tea paired with The Wynd and the Willows by Kenneth Grahame. That classic tale of friendship, companionship, the feelings of home and bucolic adventures. It's just the perfect pairing of tea and book for slowing down and savoring some nostalgic moments. And now we have herbal teas, which, at the top I mentioned, is a vast category and can be created with anything from the leaves of a plant, the roots, flowers. They can be blended and used so many ways. And so many herbal teas have many great health benefits, which is why they are such a popular tea. There are many things that can be remedied through a cup of good herbal tea. And for this particular category, I'm choosing ginger tea, fresh ginger root tea, which is simply peeled and sliced ginger root in hot water, and a little touch of honey is often good there too. It's a warming, comforting drink. And ginger also features in the title of my book selection for this category. So a cup of ginger tea along with The Ginger Tree by Oswald, Wynd. And this is a beautifully written story that is mostly told through letters. And here we meet Mary Mackenzie in 1903 as she sets sail to China to marry her husband, who is a military attaché in Peking, and then on to Japan. And she meets a Japanese nobleman with whom she has an affair. And this scandalizes the British community. And very sadly, this affair, she is ousted from her European community, and her daughter is taken away from her. Mary must find her own way. And she does. She prevails. Mary finds a way to survive over 40 years in Japan, between two world wars, the devastating earthquake of 1923 in Tokyo. This story is such a great look at relationships, a look at love, desire, problems within relationships, within society, crossing cultures, living in a different culture and finding your way in that culture, and not the very least, the resilience of the human heart and the human spirit. And for our final category today, fruit teas. Fruit teas are very interesting in that they can be comprised of tea leaves, black tea, green tea leaves, along with fruit, usually dried fruit, sometimes even dried berries and florals as well. Flowers can also be added to fruit tea mixes. It's a bit like herbal teas. There is a vast range of what can be blended together to create a really beautiful and enjoyable and oftentimes a tea with health benefits as well. And it is personally maybe not my favorite tea. I tend to like a fruit tea over ice. And so for this category, I'm selecting a strawberry rosé tea, which contains dried strawberries, rose petals, elderberries, and I will have this over ice with a strawberry garnish. And I can't resist pairing this summery floral strawberry laced tea with The Darling Buds of May by H.E. Bates. And this is set in the British countryside in the 1950s. And we meet Cedric Charlton, tax inspector. He arrives at the home of the Larkins, the Larkin farm. And very soon he forgets the purpose of his visit. And it is just such a sweet story where Cedric, as he comes to be known as Charlie later, he is distracted at every turn, be it from fun-loving and laughing Ma and Pop Larkin. There's an abundance of food, delicious food, strawberries and cream, booze-laced tea, and not the very least, the Larkins' very beautiful daughter, Mariette. Charlie is very soon absorbed into the loving and carefree life of the Larkins. This book is such a delight to read at any time of year, but I find it particularly enjoyable during the summer months. And to read it during the summer is, as Pop Larkin would say, perfect. Thank you so much for being with me here today. If you've been here even just a moment, you'll have noticed how much I love a cup of tea and pairing it with our book chats together. There just seems to be something comforting about a good cup of tea or any cozy drink and pairing it with good reading. And it has been such fun to put this together and just think about books. Think about tea and pair them together. Let me know in the comments if you have read any of these books, or I'm sure that some of you do know most of the titles that we've talked about today. But maybe there's something new here, something different for you to try. So I hope that maybe I've given you some new reading inspiration and maybe even some tea inspiration. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and also, what tea would you pair with what book that maybe I didn't showcase here in this episode? Please let me know. I would love to hear everything. And so until next time, again, I thank you very much for being here with me. I thank you all for just being here and sharing a deep love of reading. I love reading so much, and I love spending this time with you. And so until again, I wish you happy reading, and as always, many blessings. I'll see you again very soon.